سيم ديم he's here. سيم ديم. تسمح لي أن أتكلم اليوم؟ إن حصل غريب يا محمود أخي الكبير. يعني أمر What time is the adhan for Isha? The time now? Bismillah, alhamdulillah, wa ashhadu an la ilaha illallah wahdahu la sharika lah, wa ashhadu anna Muhammadan abduhu wa rasuluh. Amma ba'd. Today after the Khutba to Jumu'ah, I was outside with Ramiz, was from the people I remember, another African-American brother who came here for the first time, I think on Thursday. What's that brother's name? Tayyib. He came. And it could have been one or two more people. A lady walked up to us and handed me her card. She introduced herself as Jeannie Shuner. Jeannie Shuner. And she said, I'm looking for the Iman. The Iman. Meaning the Iman. I said, how and that? She stuck her hand out to shake my hand. And I'm thinking she's just one of the regular people here in this part of the United States, liberal, we don't know. And I said, with all due respect, I don't want to shake hands and things like that. Oh, I'm sorry. She proceeded to take this card out to tell me she was Jeannie Shuner, and she's running for property appraiser in Osceola County or something like that. I said to her, where are you from? Ramiz, do you remember what she said? What she said? She said Palestine. Did she sound Palestinian to you? She didn't sound Palestinian to me. She was speaking with like Pakistani subcontinent accent. And her color is also. And I've been to, they didn't let me into Palestine, but I went into that part of the world and they said, no, you can't come in. They stopped me from going into Beit al-Maqdis. And the people who had the guns who stopped me were the Ethiopian Falasha Jews who were in Palestine, who were third, fourth class citizens. And they're very nasty. They don't even have rights as Israelis. They're third, fourth class citizens, but they hate Islam and they hated me. So they didn't let me into the country. And I made sajda to a shukr to Allah that He allowed me to arrive there. And I made dua against them. Now, alhamdulillah, I had an opportunity to meet up with my Sheikh Ali al-Halabi, who I told him the situation. He said, come to my masjid. Anyway, I don't want to get distracted. There are Palestinians who are as dark as me. They're dark people. She didn't sound Palestinian in her lahja. She said she's Palestine. How can I help you, Jeannie Shuner? She told me she was running for this office and she gave me this thing. I said, what do you want me to do? She said, I went to Masjid Noor and they're supporting me. I just want your support. I said, okay, inshallah, I'll give this to the responsible people. So when I was home, I said, let me go on the internet. I am not a conspiracy theorist, but the feds are in Florida. I don't care what you say. The feds are in Florida. And those people know what my dawah is. I'm not an extremist. I'm not trying to kill anyone. I'm not trying to blow anybody up. But I say what I mean, and I mean what I say. Like in today's Khutba, I don't call that a war with what's going on in Palestine. That is an unjust genocide that's being enacted against those people. So I'm very careful about who comes in my house, who doesn't come in my house, who I hang out with, who I don't hang out with. I tell you that for free. Be trying to entrap me with no nonsense. But anyway, I don't want to go overboard neither, because she may be legit. Jeannie Schooner. G-E-N-Y, the last name Schooner, S-H-U-N-N-A-R. I give you that so that you brothers who are really prolific with internet and all that, you go look it up. Because I'm not prolific. I put the name in Wikipedia, nothing came up. I put it in Google, nothing came up. I put it on YouTube, nothing came up. But I don't know what I'm doing. You guys know how to research. So then I said, wow, her name is not even in Wikipedia, anything, and she's running for such an office. So I went and I made wudu and everything like that. I said, let me check again. And then when I put it in, something came up. I said, the feds is in. I said, they're in my computer. It didn't come up at first, now it came up. I said, they're in my computer. But nothing came up. I wanted to know, where was the lady from? You should be able to find something out like that. So if she is in fact a politician who's really running, if she's not from Palestine, she lied. She lied, and people heard her lie. Told me she was from Palestine. And if, like, we have Arabs here from Morocco, from Egypt, we have people here who, you know, the lahjat of people. If someone said Zalama, Zol, Masjid, you get a feel, you say, you know where he's from. English. Okay. Okay. That's why I'm bringing it to the community, because I didn't want to oppress her, and she's running, and I'm making a bigger thing than it is. But for me and my background, growing up, I saw a movie called I Dream of Jeannie. And you know the crazy thing about that is she was a jinn from Iraq. In the story, she was a genie out of the lamp from Iraq. And she used to go to Baghdad in the movie. Barbara something was her name. So I'm not a conspiracy theorist, but I say, Genie, hey Shava, Genie, I dream of Genie, it's a jinn, it's not really real, this is a problem. But my brother over there is saying that he knows her. So anyway, I want to give this to the responsible people, Habibi, to the Mudir. So her husband is from Palestine, not her. All right. Okay. It was just a weird story to me. The whole thing was weird. And I'm trying to say, what is this? You want us to vote? And she was using that as a dalil, Masjid al-Nur. What Masjid al-Nur? That is no dalil to me. You have to let me know what's going on. But anyway, it seems to have some kind of usle to it, yes. Okay, give it to the Mudir. Let's go back to our dars today. You may be sitting there, you guys, and saying, oh, what is this? What is this? I tell you what it is. These people will entrap you into something. These people entrap. I'm not here trying to make any trouble. I'm here to give da'wah to Allah and to live as an American citizen. And I'm not trying to make anything. I don't go overboard this way or that way. But now I bring that to the community and someone knows the situation. You brothers have the ability to find out what's the deal. It sounds like it has some hustle to it. But this is the problem with these politics. This is the problem. Any Amr, Bakr, Zayd can just show up and we're supposed to support you and we're supposed to be with you. No, we're going to do our best. If you come to me as the point person for the first time, I'm the imam, you come to me, I'm going to try to work with you and help you in our community. But not to the degree where I'm just going to suspend what I learned from the streets that I've come from. Not that I lived in, but where I come from, and Allah gave me some khibra and experience. Anyway, concerning today, Ikhwani, my wife reached out to me today, and she was tuned into the Khutba to Jumuah. And she brought something to my mind. And I said, okay, I'll address that. Because I believe what her malahadha, what she saw, her observation was sincere. And she wasn't just trying to make a time or give me a hard time. She said she didn't think that that was a good thing when she heard it. I said, okay, you may not be by yourself. And I'm the type of person that if you ever bring to me anything, I'll listen to you very carefully. And if I agree with what you're saying, I'll submit and I'll correct it. If I don't agree with you, I won't be arrogant. I'll just tell you I don't agree with you. And then we'll deal with it from there. But I think my wife's malahava, may Allah preserve her and bless her, give her prosperity and longevity, and give me sabr with her, give her sabr with me, and bless our babies. I said, okay, I'll address it. She said that during the khutbah, I talked about the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam going to Ta'if, which was, as he said, the most difficult day upon him in da'wah ilallah. When he went there, leaving Mecca, and they kicked him out and expelled him, he didn't know what was going to happen. He left his family in Mecca. He had been given dawah all of those years, and things were just getting worse and worse and worse and worse, that he left. Only Allah knows the details. The hadith and the seerah doesn't go into the details about why did he leave his family. It didn't go into that. But what we have to do is take the ru'us al-aqlam. What is the ru'us al-aqlam? We just take the headlines, the main issues of the story. He left, and they said, don't come back. And a lot of people, for some reason, don't realize that happened to the Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam. They think he just went to Ta'if to give dawah. Those people kicked him out, told him, don't you come back here. And when he went there and he gave dawah to their leader, dawah to their people, the leader said, no, we're not having it. You go back. Because the news had reached them, just like it was in Mecca. During the time of the Hajj and the pilgrimage in Mina and Muzdalif and Arafah and Mecca, when the pilgrims would come to Mecca, the people who would converge on Mecca had heard this news and the balbala, all of this balbala, Muhammad, and the people would look at him walking down the street and they would point to him. That's him, that's him. And they were strangers. So you only can imagine what he was going through. So it was hard for him, sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And the situation is ishtidadan ba'da shidda. It just got worse and worse and worse. He went to Ta'if. The leader said, no, you have to get out of here. We're not going to accommodate you. Get out now. And he left. He didn't beg those people as the Muslims beg in the UK. Put us on the welfare. Give us the dole. Please pay for us. There is a culture in the UK where the Muslims are on welfare. It's not like here. They're on welfare. This is an issue that I've always had with our African-American brothers who had that masjid in East Orange, and we went in that masjid and we built it up, and then we're going to hand over the reins of the dawah to people who are children of welfare with these kuffar. What's wrong with you people following those brothers? Following that stuff. But anyway, the Nabi left, sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And when he left, those kids came and they started throwing rocks. My wife said, وَهَذَا هُوَ الشَّاهِدُ, that I said during the khutbah, no, I'm not going to let anybody throw rocks at me. Nobody's going to throw rocks at me. You guys remember when I said that? She said, you came across Abu as if you were better than the Nabi, sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Hey, what's that word? Nihab Abiyad. What is it again? Say it again. Yanhar Abiyad. She said that. She said, that's how I understood it. I said, sister, have you lost your mind somewhere? You better go find your mind. You think I would talk like that and believe I'm better than the Nabi of Islam? She said, I'm telling you, that's how I felt. That's how you understood it. And maybe I'm not the only one. I said, not my community. That of my community. Well, I have to take this time out to say to all you brothers, I appreciate everything you brothers have done of ihsan towards me. All of you, everybody here. I take this opportunity to say it. Even our new brother Taha, who I barely know, but he always comes and gives me love. Brother, he always brings me avocados and fruit that I never heard of before. I appreciate all you brothers. I said, not my community. She said, Abu, don't worry about your community. It could be other people. The Shabab. I said, okay, that's really serious because I know she has my back. So I wanted to come to say in no shape, form, or fashion that I mean it that way. That the Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam dealt with it one way and I would have dealt with it another way that was better than his way. No, I didn't mean that. As a matter of fact, I'm against that type of existence and that kind of understanding. I want to make this clear. Make this very clear. I am not on the level of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. That statement that I was making when I said, nobody's going to throw rocks at me shows I'm not on his level. Nobody's going to throw rocks at me. I'm going to come and deal with you. And that's not the best way to deal with the situation. What he did was the best way, sallallahu alaihi wasallam. He had the ability when the angels came, there was an angel who was responsible for the mountains. As everybody here knows that hadith. Jibril came with that angel, said, Hamid, this is the angel of the mountains. If you want, he'll take these two mountains that these people live between and he'll smash them and pulverize them. If it was me, I say, do it to the 10th power. Because they would hit me with rocks and stuff like that. So I'd be upset. I'll be upset. You racially profiling me. You want to make me a slave. You think I'm Kunta Kinte. That's all the stuff that would have been in my mind. Prophet Muhammad ain't like that. Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam is looking all the way down the line, outside of the box. He asked Allah, don't do that. I hope that from the loins of these people, these kids who do these rocks, there would become people who worship Allah Azza wa Jalla. And it's what happened. It's what happened. That's what I mean. That I wouldn't have dealt with it like he dealt with it. And I thought I made that clear. The second thing concerning that is that I mentioned during the khutbah that there were about, it could have been 30, 40, 50 kids throwing rocks. There'd be a lot of people throwing rocks at him. What do you think? I'm going to fight through all them rocks? 40, 50 kids are throwing rocks at me. That was causing him to bleed. When Zayd ibn Haritha described the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he said, when I went to take his shoes off, he had blood all in his shoes that became, what's that word again? Congratulated? What is it? Huh? Yeah, there it is. Say it again. Yeah. They never taught us that in grammar school where I come from. Say it again. Say it again. I have to write that down. That's a good Scrabble word. I can spell it anyway. Nobody's gonna challenge me. You know when your blood starts hardening. He said the blood was like that in his shoes. Yes. They had to pull his shoes off. Blood is in his shoes like that. Draining blood, dripping with blood. Sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So that's the second point, that someone's throwing rocks at you, 40, 50. Nah, man, we have to have enough sense now. Right now, I have to have enough sense. I can't get mad at every Amr, Bakr, and Zayd and everything that happens in Publix at the red light. As I'm walking, I'm going to let it escalate to the point where we're going to deal with lethal violence. I can't do that. I got to be older than that, more mature than that. Be more mature than that. So I didn't mean it like that. And I thought that was clear. So I wanted to make it clear. In no way am I saying what the Prophet did, sallallahu alaihi wasallam, I would have did differently. No. Because one of the problems that we have is this extremism from our Shabbat. You guys didn't have it in America like we had it in the UK in the last 30 years. It was really bad, where these young people, brothers and sisters, were throwing their lives away. A Muslim girl is in high school, 17 years old, man, and she was a good student. She waited at the underground, the subway, and waited for a member of parliament to come through, and she started stabbing him with a knife. And she was a gifted student. And this used to happen all the time there. Boy has memorized the Quran, and he goes over to Syria, and he joins those people over there. And they were just throwing their lives away, left, right, and center. And I'm gonna mention this because it's in public, and you can go check it out. There was a Bangladeshi girl. Her name was something Begum. I gave a khutbah about this girl in Green Lane Masjid. A khutbah. She went over there with two of her friends, and she escaped and got over there. Got married to different mujahideen, za'amu. Had 3 babies. Every one of those babies died due to bad health and the conditions and all that. And now she wants to go back to the UK, but they stripped her of her jinsiyah. And I gave a khutbah in her defense. I don't support what she does, but she was a baby, 16 years old. She made a mistake. So this was happening over there. You brothers didn't have to deal with this on the scale that we were dealing with it in the UK. And lo and behold, just 2 days ago, I get a message off of social media where a young brother who had a wrestling scholarship, he's gonna go to university for free. His father's a famous civil defense lawyer in Philadelphia. Famous. He's the brother of one of the leaders of the Ghulat. And he's gonna go to prison for a long time because the government found him corresponding with these people over there trying to learn how to make bombs, and he learned how to make some smaller bombs. That's right now. And that's why I say to these brothers on this ghulu, we better stop worrying about the politics of Saudi centrism and other stuff and all this stuff, and deal with our children and deal with what's going on with our tahaddiyat right here in our communities and in America. Stop playing games. Brothers, right under your nose. Our children collectively in this masjid, our children are struggling with their Islamic identity, and you pushing this Saudi centrism. I'm against Saudi Arabia. I'm not against Saudi Arabia. Nor am I against Kuwait, Bahrain, Iraq, Bahrain, Morocco, Tunis. But I got my own issues right here with my own children. What we're dealing with right here. LGBT, the education of our own children, domestic policy of this country, foreign policy of this country, my own retirement, my own health. And you talking about everything Saudi Arabia is Tawheed? Come on, man. What are you talking about? What are you talking about? You brothers better wake up and smell a coffee and get with the program and pay attention to our own problem that's right in front of our faces. So as it relates to that issue of what my wife brought to the table, this is what I wanted to say. I wanted to make that perfectly clear. Listen, there is a companion, his name is Khutba ibn Arat. May Allah be pleased with him. He was one of those weak companions, like Bilal ibn Rabah, like Ammar ibn Yasir and his father and mother, Sumayya, like Abdullah ibn Mas'ud. They were from the fuqara, the weak, masakeen. Not like you brothers. They didn't have Quraysh. They didn't have this man, Mut'im ibn Adi, to protect them. He wasn't from their people. They can't go to him. Rasulullah can go to people like that, Abu Talib and people like that, because he was from the tribe of Quraysh. These people couldn't go. They were poor people, masakeen. That miskin person who comes through this door and nobody looks at him. Nobody looks at him. No one asks his name. No one asks where he come from. And that's one of the reasons why I always say, hey, what's your name? Yeah, what's his name? What's his name? What's his name? What's his name? To make everybody feel in this masjid, hey, man, we are a community, man. You're not no second-class citizen. So if anybody was wondering, why does he always do that? To do that for one reason, to let everybody feel, hey, man, al-Muslimun tatakafa'u dima'uhum. Our blood is equal. Now, there are people in our community who have some positions of authority. No doubt about that. No doubt about that. He's older. He memorized more of the Quran. He's from the Shura. No doubt about that. But ain't nobody here a second-class citizen. No one. Khutba ibn Arat was in the dirt. No one's going to listen to him. No one will look at him. If he knocks on the door, no one will open the door. No one's going to invite him. No one's going to his marriage. That's how he was. He came to the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam in Mecca. He said, Ya Rasulullah, afala tad'u Allah lana, afala tastansur lana. You don't make dua for us? Make dua for us to help us. Won't you ask Allah to help us? Rasulullah was sitting at the Kaaba in the shade, and this companion came. And you all know the rahmah of the Nabi on the Masakeen, the Du'afa. You know it. He listened to him and he sat up. He said, you know, verily there used to be people before you. One of them was so miskeen, so weak. He would be bored. People would dig a hole for him, put him in the hole, tie him up, and then proceed to oppress him. They would comb his body on with iron combs until his flesh came apart from his bones. And that would not deter him from his deen. Anybody had to deal with that? I'm telling you, these non-Muslims, they stopped me. They put me in the prison at the airport. They held me up 8 hours, 9, 12 hours. And I used to go off. I would try to calm down so that they'll let me out earlier. They wouldn't take my phone. They take my phone with my wife's pictures, my daughter's pictures. I would go off. And then I would calm down and say, come on, you got to be like the Nabi. Stop being emotional, to calm down. But I didn't like it. But none of them hit me. None of them tie me up, waterboard me, and they do that to people. They do renditions and waterboard people and oppress people. Don't come talking to me about no democracy, man. Get out of here with that stuff. That never happened to me. That companion, Rasulullah said, this is what used to happen to the people before you. And what they did to him would not cause them to leave their deen. As people tell the Muslims today, cut your beard. As people tell the Muslims, be Muslim. They tell the Muslims today, don't wear hijab. And we say, okay, Mr. Charlie, okay, Massa, what we do today. I'm not judging anybody. I'm just saying, come on, man. Them people in the past used to have to deal with stuff. He said that would not change them from the deen. He told Khabbab ibn Arat, وَلَكِنَّكُمْ مُسْتَعْجِلُونَ. You, my companions, are in haste. We're in Mecca and it's rough and it's tough, but don't be mustajilun. Take it easy. Allah is going to complete this religion. And the Nabi had no doubt about that. Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. I've always, from the day that I heard that hadith being mentioned by my Shaykh Ali al-Halabi and other than them, I used to always say back in the UK to the Shabab, take it easy, take it easy, relax, relax. The future's for Islam, and Islam is the future. What's going on in Palestine? It's terrible, it's terrible. But those casualties of war, Allah put them in Jannah. Those babies with their families and stuff like that, and to be like it never happened because they're going to be in the Jannah. But as for us, that doesn't happen. Relax, relax. Don't think you're better than the companions who were told at that time, be patient and don't fight back. Be patient. I'm not on that stuff. And there were other companions who had situations like that. Let me give you a number of them. Even Umar, radiyallahu anhu, in the battle or the Sulh of al-Hudaybiyah, when they went to perform the rites of Allah at the house, and the kuffar said, no, you're not going. And the Muslims were ready to fight because they were stronger and they were ready. They said, nah, we're going to go in there despite you people. But the Prophet sat back. He said, let's have a discussion. They said, do you agree to this? He agreed to everything. It seemed like it was against the Muslims. Everything seemed like we were the lesser. But Rasulullah was looking, sallallahu alaihi wasallam, from a long, far way off, the way the older brothers and older people look. The younger brothers, when I see some of this stuff, I want to share this, guys. I want to share this with you. I'll share this with you. Some of these young brothers actually believe that you can be against the Sunnah just because you're not with him, and they'll make dua that Allah destroys you and put you in the hellfire, because that's what he understands. That's where his head is at. An educated, elderly person doesn't think like that. He says, hey, what's all of this shiddah? We are not the people who we used to be 20, 25 years ago. We're not like that. We're not like that. You start getting older and you start looking at things with a different eye, or you're supposed to anyway. Umar, when he heard all of these things that Prophet agreed to, he went to Abu Bakr. He said, Ya Abu Bakr, are we not on the haqq? Why are we agreeing to all of this stuff? All of this, what Prophet Muhammad agreed to, makes us down. Are we not on the haqq? He said, yes, but Allah will not forsake him. That's why Abu Bakr as-Siddiq is a Siddiq. Have no doubt in your mind. You ask the young brother Abdul Shakur, which companion do you like the most? He'll say Umar, because he's strong. Khalid ibn Walid, because he's strong. Abu Dujana, because he's strong. Yup. Abu Bakr as-Siddiq, because he was the most knowledgeable and the most equipped, and the one who the Prophet gave him the stamp, sallallahu alaihi wasallam, that he's the most qualified after me to be this leader of this ummah. When the Prophet died, sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and Umar, the strong one, he was like, whoa, Rasulullah died. Anyone who says he died, I'm going to kill you. You're a munafiq. You're a munafiq. I'll kill you right here. Abu Bakr said, Umar, calm down. What are you doing? Calm down. He wouldn't listen. He went in. Abu Bakr saw the Prophet was dead. Sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Kissed him, smelt him, came back out and said things that caused the ummah to say, whoa, Abu Bakr as-Siddiq. And that's why I say, anybody who's an enemy to Abu Bakr as-Siddiq, personally, I can't speak for you, I'm not having mujamala with him. I try to talk to him and say, brother, you astray. And I don't care. If he doesn't get with the program, Abu Bakr as-Siddiq, ana ras wal ain, above my mother and my father. If you say the wrong thing out of the side of your neck about my mom, Dukes, only Allah knows what's going to happen to you. We're going to have some issues. Abu Bakr as-Siddiq is above that because his position in this thing. So anyway, my brothers in Al-Islam, Masjid As-Sunnah and Nabawiyah of Qasimiyah, we want to say to you that no way in the world can one of us look at the companions and say, I would have dealt with this situation in a different way. If you say that, you're on a way of innovation. You're on a way of going astray. The way the companions looked at things and the way that they handled those things and the way that they did in those things, that's the way. Because just as Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam was Mustafa, Mujtaba, divinely chosen, Mukhtar, those companions as well were Mustafun, Mukhtarun. Abdullah ibn Mas'ud said, Allah looked at the hearts of the people after the heart of his messenger, sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And he found the best hearts of the people were the hearts of his companions. So Allah made his companions his wuzara and his ansar. What they see as being hasana, it is hasan with Allah. And what they don't see as being hasan is not hasan with Allah. And brother mentioned the other day, if the companions agree on something, no, you can't come with another opinion after the companions of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam agreed on something and they showed us in positions of weakness how to deal with the situation. So now all we have to do, I believe, not to oversimplify, is are we in a position of strength or a position of weakness? I ask you, brothers. Are we in a position of strength or weakness? Sakitin, na'imin. Are we, this ummah, in a position of strength or weakness? I'm asking you. We're in a position of weakness. Although an individual here and there may have some strength, or a particular masjid here and there may have some strength, but we're in a position of weakness, brother. Weakness. We're in a position of weakness. So we have to deal with our situation the way that they dealt with it. And that doesn't mean that we always have to acquiesce and eat humble pie and apologize. Doesn't mean that at all. Okay, brothers, inshallah, if you brothers have any questions about what we mentioned here today, you feel free to ask your questions. That lady who came here today, I'm happy that some people knew her and things like that, but I still stand 10 toes down. 10 toes down. Politics are a problem. Politics are a problem. Got a skin and grin in your face to make you feel good about what you're doing. No. We're going to be nice to you. We're going to be real cool with you. But we're going to tell you, these politics are dirty. It's a dirty game. It's a dirty game. But Allah is in control, and we ask Allah for a thabat, and not to make us those people who are mutalawwinin and the people who are mutaqallibin here and there, one day after another, as the wind blows. You guys have any questions? Allah, tafadhal.
The reason why you're weak.
Yeah, the weakness of the ummah comes as a result of the ummah backing up off our religion and not practicing it the way those companions practice. And that's what Salafiyya is. And there are some brothers in our audience who I've developed a relationship with. But when they used to hear the word Salafi, they'd be like, what? But because we have a close relationship, I'd say to the brother, relax, man. Salafi is not a group. Salafi is not, no, brother. It's simply what the companions were upon. Leave all of this other stuff you hear from people. Allah mentioned in the Quran and many ayat. وَعَدَ اللَّهُ الَّذِينَ آمَنُوا مِنْكُمْ وَعَمِلُوا الصَّالِحَاتِ وَيَسْتَخْلِفَنَّكُمْ فِي الْأَرْضِ كَمَا اسْتَخْلَفَ الَّذِينَ مِنْ قَبْلِهِمْ. Allah has promised those people from amongst you. If you believe in Allah and you do righteous deeds, you have to pray, you have to wear hijab, you have to practice your religion. If you do that, Allah will give you the khilafah. What Allah promised. Allah la yukhlifu al-mi'ad. Allah said He doesn't break His promise. And in the hadith that He's mentioning, along with many other proofs, the Prophet says, sallallahu alaihi wasallam, if you Muslims start to have and deal with al-ina, which is a type of riba, your house, your car, your credit card, things that we just take. This is how life is. This is the life we're living here. It's the ghurba. If you Muslims start taking the riba and you become preoccupied with commerce and taking the tails of animals, agriculture, and you leave al-jihad fi sabilillah, sallallahu alaykum dhulla, Allah will make you people low. La yanza'u anhu hatta tarji'u ila dinikum. Allah won't take that off of you until you return to your religion. So this is the condition of the Muslims today. This is the condition of the Muslims today. So our weakness comes as a result of us. One of those ayahs I can't fail to mention to you, إن الله لا يغير ما بقوم حتى يغيروا ما بأنفسهم. Allah won't change the condition of a people until they change their condition. That meaning has a dual meaning, that ayah. One meaning is the companions came and they were strong. And then the Muslims changed that condition. When they changed that condition, Allah changed the condition of the Muslims. Another meaning of the ayah is, we're weak right now. Until we change as an ummah our condition, Allah is not going to change it. We have to change our condition. That's why we got to give dawah to what is reasonable, what makes sense. Marching ain't going to do that. Mudaharat, that ain't going to do that. Not going to solve that problem. Screaming and mic, that's not going to say. We got to get our ummah back on the basics of the religion, tawheed, and understand our religion and practice it. Aywa, Mahmoud, faddal.
Know it. But at the time of the messenger and the prophet, he said, بنو إسرائيل كانت تسوسهم الأنبياء. So politics, running the people.
That's a good point, Mahmoud. You should be the imam, brother. You should be the imam. That's a good point, brother. I said that politics are dirty and they're stinking the way we have it today. The way we have it today. The way we have it today. Even when I start going off the script and I start talking, there's a voice in my head that says to me during the khutbah, hey, reel it in, brother. Reel it in. Reel it in. And I want some of you brothers in the audience, when you start seeing me, to stand up and go like this. Because politics is a problem. Yes, Abu Anis. You see me start talking about, they doing this and they doing that. And you start saying, you have to, because I be on the verge of cursing. I be on the verge of saying curse words. Because I don't want to be people with their feet on my neck. I don't want to be like that. So the hadith inside Bukhari is that the Prophet mentioned sallallahu alaihi wasallam, kana banu Israel yasusuhum al-anbiya كل ما هلك نبي خلفه نبي. Ben Israel, their prophets were responsible for their politics. Every time a prophet would die, another prophet would take his place. So the politics in Islam is, the meaning of politics in Islam is bringing in as much benefit to the community as possible and pushing back as much harm away from them. That's politics. Politics is not Democrat, Republic, Labor, this, that, and you come and you be lying. As soon as your party gets in, you're not going to do what you promised you're going to do. You're a liar. Democrat, you're a liar. And these Republicans, you're lying. They come in, they don't do a fraction of what they promised. They're just lying. And even if they get in my opinion, when they get in, they're still doing the bidding of those, what do you call them, APAC? What do you call those, that group? Interest groups. They're going to do what those people pay them to do. But still, at the same time, I think we could utilize the system in some ways. So politics in Islam, Ikhwani, is not what you find in Africa, in Nigeria, country where my wife is from. Nigeria has every kind of resource in that ground. And Nigeria, they have intelligent people. Most PhD people in the world are from India. The majority of PhD holders in America, Nigerians, doctors, competent people. But if you saw Nigeria and the way it's being administered, they're finding $13, $14, $15 million cash money in the homes of politicians. In the homes of politicians. And the roles where he comes from, messed up. It's crazy. That's not politics. Politics is building the infrastructure, building schools, putting the community on a footing where the quality of living and the quality of life in Iraq, in Libya, in Syria is where the Muslims are competing. It's not what we have today. Your party wins and it's a ticket to just steal money. It's a ticket for the Ethria. You just steal the money. Generation after generation after generation, and you make the West richer and richer and richer, and your people poor and poor and poor. It's not politics in Islam. So that's what I mean by politics is it's a dirty game. Okay, Juan, we're going to stop here. Abu Anas, Aishinda. Yeah, brother, go ahead, Tayyib. This is the last question, Tayyib.
There was no politics came in. Right? Now, that's things here, there. Muslims against one group. I sat up and I thought about it, even in this Pakistan, even in this Palestine. How much weaponry we as one woman have? We could dominate. Everything is divided. Getting back to the and practicing what we know instead of coming to read.
All of those are dynamics, no doubt about it. But right here, keeping it on the ground, keeping it right in front of us, keeping it manageable, right here in Masjid, As-Sunnah, An-Nabawiyya, Qasimiyya, we amongst ourselves, this is our hukuma. This is our hukuma, right here, like in your house. That's your hukuma. The police come, the popo, they knock on your door. If you want to open up the door, you open it up. If you don't want to open up the door, you don't open it up. It's up to you. That's your hukuma. If you decide to open up the door, you say, take your shoes off. You say, take your shoes off. You have the right to say that. That inside is your hukuma. This is our hukuma. We have control here. So with the control that we have here, we can't be divided. This is Pakistani, it's African American, this is Moroccan, this is Egyptian, this is Iraqi, that one is Tunisi. No, we in our community right here. And that's what we have to work on. What's in front of our nose, not what's way out there. Deal with as the Sheikh, and I completed it with this, Sheikh Nasiruddin al-Albani, who was not Ma'soom, but he was a mujaddid of this ummah, a reviver and a nuwa, and what he did with servicing the hadith of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. I remember he used to always say over and over and over, he would tell the Muslims, he would say, if each and every one of you establish the khilafah in your house, in your local community and in your house, Allah established a khilafah for you in the earth. But we're trying to establish a khilafah here. Someone else has another interpretation of Islam. Another masjid has another interpretation. And none of us can come together with our interpretations. It's just going to be a challenge that will be perpetual and continual. But our tawfiq is only with Allah Azza wa Jalla. I say, everybody try to get in and where you fit in with the hadith. لا تزال طائفة من أمتي على الحق منصورة. There will always never cease to be a group of people from our ummah who will be victorious. They will be victorious. And it won't hurt them. Those people go against them. Those people are doing and practicing the religion and understanding the religion and dealing with people in the situations the way the companions dealt with it. Radiyallahu anhum. Wa sallallahu wa sallam wa barak ala nabiyyina wa ala alihi wa ashabi ajma'in. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.